Hi everybody, I'm here with Kiki Bobatis today from Millersville University, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the school.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. As she said, my name is Kiki, and I'm one of the admissions counselors at Millersville. Primarily, my recruitment territory is Central and Western Pennsylvania, so when any of you apply to Millersville, I would be the one reviewing your application. So you can always reach out to me if you have a question about the process or anything. So here is my contact information. You can reach me by email or by text. You can always call too, but I know that most of you prefer to text, so that's quite all right. I'll reply in any of those ways. So Millersville, here's kind of a highlight of some things that I can cover today. I will talk a little bit about the majors that we offer. I'll talk about a little bit about cost, financial aid. We are medium-sized, about 8,000 students total. Of those, close to 6,000 are full-time undergraduate students. So it's nice because it's large enough that there are a lot of opportunities for students, but it's not so large that you get lost in the shuffle. 25 to 30 is the average class size. So it's small enough that professors get to know the students and the students get to know the other students too. And you can see on this slide, 98% of our faculty have obtained the highest degree possible in their area. They are passionate about what they do, they know their subject matter, and their focus is on teaching. All of our courses are taught by our faculty. You will also get to know them in the advisor-advisee relationship. If you are admitted to Millersville as a psychology major, you'd be assigned to one of the psychology professors as your advisor. If you're admitted as an English major, you'd be assigned to an English professor. So there's always someone for you to sit down with, meet with, and plan things out to make sure you're taking the right courses in the right order. So we are located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We're about an hour southeast of Harrisburg. We're not too far from Philadelphia, and we do have Amtrak. So if Amtrak service is close to you, that's a great way to get home for the weekend. Most of our students come from within a 2 to 3 hour distance of campus. Many are from Pennsylvania. We are one of the 14 state-owned universities in Pennsylvania, but we have students from Maryland, New Jersey, Delaware. We also have international students. We have 2 recruiters that recruit internationally, but most come from within a 2 to 3 hour distance of campus. So this kind of shows you where we are. We're close to a lot without right in the middle of it all. We are a suburb of Lancaster, and Lancaster is about 5 miles away. Millersville does have a presence in downtown Lancaster. Some of you may have been there. There's a lot of like touristy things in Lancaster with the Amish and the outlets and Dutch Wonderland, but you can ride Lancaster County Bus Route 16, just show your ID and get downtown free, but you are allowed to have a car on campus as a freshman. So there are plenty of places to park it if you do bring a car as a freshman. Here is a list of our most populated majors. We have over 100 majors to choose from, but these are the most popular ones. If you're not sure about a major yet, it's okay, because all of our degrees are liberal arts based. No matter what your major is, everybody needs to take some science, some math, some social studies. So you have 1.5 to 2 years to try things out. It's totally okay to start out undecided. It's one of the largest groups that we enroll each fall semester. And there are advisors that are specially trained to work with students who are undecided to help guide you through activities to focus on what your interests are and what majors or careers those interests would be related to. By the end of your sophomore year, then it's important to have a major and stick with it, because by then, most of your liberal arts courses are done. And if you want to graduate in 4 years, you do need to start focusing on a major by that point. But until then, you have some flexibility. There's a lot to do at Millersville, and I think it's important to get involved with something just as a way of meeting people with similar interests. In high school, you probably have the groups that you hang out with, whether it's the marching band or the newspaper staff or the musical group. And when you go away to college, I think it's important to reestablish a network of friends and acquaintances with similar interests like that. So getting involved is one way to do that. There's a lot to choose from. Within the first 2 weeks of each semester, they hold what's called Organization Outbreak, and all of the different clubs and organizations have representatives there. So you can talk to them, find out what they do, and see if that's something you want to get involved with. Plus, if there's something you really like to do and we don't have a club for that, there are steps you can take to get one approved. But I think it's good to get involved with some things. You don't want to overdo it. You know, if you see your grade slipping, look at where you're spending your time. And if it's on rehearsals and practices, then you know you need to make some changes. But you know, it's a great way just to meet people. You'll be meeting people in the residence halls, you'll be meeting people in your classes and in extracurricular activities too. For the housing, freshmen and sophomores are required to live on campus in our residence halls. So the first 2 years you must be on campus unless you commute from home. And you all live too far away to commute. We do use 40 miles as a guideline. If you live 39 miles or less to campus, we allow students to live at home and commute. 40 miles or more, you are required to live on campus. All of our residence halls are suite style housing, and you can see a typical layout floor plan here. Most students will share, 2 students will share a bedroom and a bathroom, and then you have like a shared living area with 2 other students. All of the residence halls are card access, so only students who live in that building can enter that building. You need to swipe your ID card to get into the building, and then you'd have a regular key for your room. They each have laundry facilities in there. They each have a kitchen if you want to do something special. You will have a meal plan, so you won't have to cook, but if you wanted to cook, you could. And they all have like study areas, lounges, and an RA, resident assistant, an upperclassman who's there as a resource. If you are having roommate issues, the RA is the first person that you go to. If you don't know where a certain building is on campus or how to get in touch with your advisor, the RA is a resource for that. And they will also do like team building activities, things to help you get to know the other students that you're living with. Hopefully you will all be able to come to our campus sometime soon. We are doing in-person tours right now. If you do come for a tour, you'll get to see the residence halls, you'll get to go through an academic building, and we also have information sessions on our campus now too. So hopefully you'll get there soon. For the application process, those of you who are seniors can apply now. Those of you who are juniors can do it in the summer between your junior and senior year. We do have, the application is online and there are 2 options. We have our own Millersville application and we also participate in the Common App. So if you are applying to other schools that use the Common App, you can do that one. But the application is done by the student online. Then you need to ask the high school to send us your transcripts. We look at 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. We look at the classes you've been taking. We look at your grades. We look at extracurricular activities. Most students admitted to Millersville have about a B average. You can see here a 3.5 is the average. We want to see a B, whatever a B is at your school. SATs, ACTs, we do accept both. However, we are test optional for fall 21. If you have not taken SATs, don't panic. We can review an application without them. If you've done the SATs, like if you were able to take them, you know, before everything shut down because of the pandemic, send them to us. We can also use your PSAT scores. But if you haven't taken the SATs, don't worry. We look at everything. All students have been following, all admitted students have taken a college preparatory program of study, meaning at least 4 years of academic English, 3 or 4 years of social studies, like government, history, psychology, economics. For the sciences, we want to see at least 1 level of a lab science above biology. So most have had chemistry, some may have done physics or advanced bio or earth sciences. We also want to see Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 minimum for the math. If you are planning to major in a science or math at college, you want to get as much science and math in high school as you can, so you're better prepared. But all students have taken the basic college prep program of study. Applications, we like to have them by the end of October or early November. We are on rolling admissions, so it usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks to hear something from us. So within a few weeks, you'll know exactly where you stand. If you clearly meet all of the admission criteria, you'll get an email saying that you've been admitted. If one area or another is a little bit off, what we might do is ask for more information. Sometimes we want to see your first marking period grades or your mid-year grades because your senior year counts too. So sometimes we do ask for grades to see how your senior year is going. So we'd like to have them by the end of October, early November. You have until May 1st of your senior year to make up your mind. So even though I'm saying it's important to apply soon, early in your senior year, you still have quite a few months to think about it. That gives you time if you want to come see us, come to campus for a tour. We know many students apply to 3 or 4 colleges, so that also gives you time to hear from some other schools too. How you let us know if you want to accept the offer is you pay your deposit. And that deposit, if you're living on campus, is $350. $200 goes towards your room and $150 goes towards your tuition. Once we get that, we know you want to come. So then we know we need to invite you to orientation. If you're living on campus, the housing office then knows they need to assign you to a room and send you the housing contract. That also lets us know we need to make your schedule up. As a first semester freshman, we make your academic schedules up for you. Starting with the second half of your freshman year, you would each work with an advisor to make up your own schedule. If anyone has done or plans to do AP exams, if you score a 3 or higher, we do give advanced standing credit, so be sure to get those scores to us. And if any of you have taken college courses during high school, I know many students have the opportunity to do dual enrollment classes. If that applies to you, just make sure you get the transcripts to us. So college transcripts and AP scores are not needed to admit you to Millersville. We do need them by the end of June after your senior year, so that when we make your schedule up for you, we're not assigning you to classes that you're going to be getting credit from in other ways. The other thing about the application process, one major has additional criteria. If you are considering music, there is an audition process. So what we do in those cases is evaluate an application based on the academics, admit undeclared, and then when the department lets us know they've accepted you, we change you to the music major. But that's how the application process works. What you see on this slide are our current costs. I mentioned earlier we are one of the 14 state universities, which means it is less expensive for Pennsylvania residents to attend. So that first column you see is for a Pennsylvania resident taking full-time classes, meaning 15 credits in the fall and 15 credits in the spring. So everything for this year is a little over $26,000. The middle column is out of state. It is more expensive, but we do have a discount right off the top. And then the final column is a typical 4-year private school, just to give you a comparison. The biggest thing you need to do for financial aid is the Fafsa, the free application for federal student aid. Those of you who are seniors can get that process started soon. October 1st is when seniors can start the FAFSA. Our financial aid officers will start doing tentative aid packages in March. So based on all of the numbers that you submitted on the FAFSA, they would say, it looks like you're eligible for this much grant, this much loan, so you know exactly where you stand before May 1st, when you have to let us know if you want to accept the offer of admission. But 82% of our students receive some type of aid. So 82% are either getting grants that do not need to be repaid, that includes loans that do need to be repaid, it includes scholarships, and it includes work-study jobs on campus. For the academic scholarships, everyone admitted to the university is automatically considered for them. So there's not a separate application. We start awarding those in January, and we would notify you if you're eligible. Typically, this year, they went to students with a 3.5 or higher GPA and 1250 or higher on the SATs. Now, since we won't have SATs to look at for everyone, we're just going to put more emphasis on grades, leadership experiences, extracurricular activities, things like that. And then we have a payment plan. If it's easier for families to make monthly payments rather than paying at the beginning of each semester, that's something that you can do too. And there is a financial aid scholarship database search you can do from the Millersville Financial Aid Office website too. These are Millersville and Seville, our swans. The pond is my favorite place on campus. You can see my virtual background is the pond. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. The next slide will have my information. Here are also some websites if you want to register to get more information. We will send you invitations to prospective student events. If you do want to set up a visit, You can do that on our website too. And then Guidebook has a virtual college campus tour that you can do too. So thanks again for coming. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Kiki. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I just have a couple questions that are generally asked by students.
Yes.
First one's going to be, what are some of the most popular majors? I don't know if you touched on that at all.
So the largest majors at Millersville, in no particular order, biology is a big one, psychology, communications, education. We started out as a teacher's college, so all of our education programs are very strong. So those are the top. Some of the more unique ones, if students are looking for unique majors that you don't find just anywhere, we do have a meteorology program. We also have a technical theater program and a music business industry. And our applied engineering, like to be technology education teacher, that's one that you don't find just everywhere too.
Awesome.
So I expanded on your question.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Second question, what services are available for students who might be struggling academically, emotionally, or socially on campus?
We have a lot of services available. You have to be proactive and seek them out yourself. For academics, we do have tutoring, and tutoring is free. We have the digital writing studio. If you want to have someone review a paper before you send it in, the writing center and the digital learning studio too. For academics, we also have academic support services. They will do workshops on things like time management skills, study skills. We also have the counseling center on campus with some psychologists, and those services are free. You get so many visits per semester that are free to students. So there are services available. If anyone has an IEP, we also have learning services. Any testing has to be 3 years old or less. So if you need untimed tests, if you need a note taker, support services like that are available too. But they do want to see any testing that's 3 years old or less to be eligible for those services.
Okay, great.
Did I cover all the categories?
Yes, I think so. Last question, kind of a fun one. What are some major campus traditions or your favorite campus traditions?
Major campus traditions. Well, at the beginning of each year, they do convocation, like they do like a candle lighting for the incoming, the freshman class. That's like carried all the way through. So there's a lot of like campus pride on the campus, and it starts with like at the end of orientation is the convocation, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. That does sound fun. All right, that's all the questions I have. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. If you have any questions, you know where to find me.
Perfect. Thanks.